Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going fabulous. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm excited to share a card with you using the Spellbinders Clear Stamp of the Month Club Kit for December 2020. This is a brand new club kit at the Spellbinders shop, and I'll be doing this club from now on. So 5 Spellbinders clubs. They're all packed in one special kit, and I'll link that kit down below if you guys are interested. But this month's kit is called Ballerina Sentiments. And you see the ballerinas on the top row? There's 5 of them. This happy will fit in the dress of the ballerina and her little tutu. So one will have H, one will have A, one will have P, and they're perfectly spaced to where you just have to stamp once. I thought that was genius. There is a happy down there that does the same thing, or a hello. I'm sorry, you have a happy and a hello. So you could put hello friend, you could put happy birthday, or you could just put a thank you. So lots of sentiment options in here, but I thought that was so neat. Now when I first saw this stamp set, we're going to do a little stamping with just one of the images. We're going to take the ballerina with her arms held out. When I first saw it, I immediately thought of a little jewelry box that I had when I was little. It was pink. I think it was padded. It had velvet on the inside, and when you opened it, it was a music box, and the little ballerina twirled. That's what this reminded me of. So that's where I was kind of going for today in my project. So we just need 2 of these pretty little girls. I thought it would be a perfect little spinner card to create for a little princess. So I stamped 2 of them. We're going to do a little coloring with Copic markers. I stamped with Memento ink on Nina cardstock. Both of these are alcohol marker friendly. We'll color in the skin of our little ballerina with my E00, and then we're going to color in the tutu with some very bright pinks. So I chose my RV23. We're going to color the entire tutu with this, and then I'm going to do a little bit of shading with my RV29. These little pretties are very easy to color in. Do a little highlighting with my darkest pink, and then I'm going to blend it out a little bit with my RV29. After we have our tutu done, I think we're going to do a little shading with my E11 to the skin of our little ballerina. I think we have enough room on here to do that. Just add a little touch of shading. And then I did color in her hair with my YR27, and then I thought we'd go a little bit darker, so I added E37 on top of that. So I'm going to fussy cut out both of my little ballerinas as close to fussy cutting as I can get, so they're basically the same, because we're going to place these on top of each other to create our spinner. We can do a little bit of adjusting after they're glued together. I'm going to flip over one of my ballerinas, and I'm going to take some very strong double-sided adhesive tape, and then press it down really good, and then I'm going to use my craft pick and just remove the release paper. And then I'm going to take some of my glue and add it to the arms, just because I want my string to be in between both of these ballerinas and secured really well. I'm just using my whipped cream twine here. I'm going to trim down a small piece, and then I'm just going to place the string right in the middle of the ballerina, place the other one right on top. And for fussy cutting, I think I did pretty good. I did have a little bit area showing where I fussy cut on the reverse side, so I'm just going to trim it up with my scissors just so it looks a little bit more cleaner and that when she spins. But again, this is the part where if I had some tulle, I probably would have gave her some tulle, a tulle tutu somehow. Okay, we're going to stamp the sentiment. We're going to make a birthday card, and since I don't have the happy, I'm going to bring in another stamp set from my stash, but I am going to stamp the birthday, and I'm going to be using my Sweet Berry ink pad. I'm going to stamp it with a real pretty pink ink that kind of matches the color of her tutu. We'll ink up the sentiment and stamp it on the bottom, because we're going to trim this down. Sometimes when you stamp straight line sentiments on the bottom of your cardstock, it's nice because you just have to cut one side. And I got a little heavy-handed. I'm going to flip over my panel and stamp one more time. And second time's a charm here. And then the stamp set that I'm going to be bringing in is from Fun Stamper's Journey. It's the Letterboard Minis. There's a little happy in there. I'm going to stamp that on the same cardstock with the same ink, with my Sweet Berry ink. It's a real pretty bright pink here. And I'm going to use my scissors and just fussy cut both of my sentiments out. I did banner the left side or the right side of my birthday, and so they're good to go. Now we're going to do a little bit of die cutting with some essential dies. I'm bringing in my essential label etched dies. I'm going to start off with some white cardstock, and then I'm going to take the largest two in this set. One of them will cut out the fancy label, and then the other one will cut out a dotted detail on the inside of that. So I'm going to tape these down, and then I'm also going to bring in my essential circles. We're going to create a window for a little spinner card. So we're going to take the dotted detail on the outside edge, and then I made sure that this circle will fit my ballerina with a little bit of wiggle room. So I'll put the circle on the inside. So I'm going to have dotted detail around the outside edge of my window, and my ballerina will fit in here. We'll just take this down, and I'll run this through my Platinum 6, and then we have a pretty fancy panel, and that's what I was going for, a very princessy panel. I'm just going to use my Tool-in-One, and I'm loving the color of this Tool-in-One, but I'm going to just pop out all those little decorative holes, and we are good to go here. I think that looks really pretty. I'm going to bring in my card base today. I'm going to be using a Sweet Berry card base I created with the same cardstock that I used with my ink. It's an A2 top folding card, and then I'm also going to bring in another panel of that same Sweet Berry cardstock. I'm going to die cut that out with my largest essential label die, so this way I can mat my white panel behind it. I wanted my dotted detail to be pink, so that's what I did here. I traced around with my the window with my pencil here, so I can die cut out a window in my panel, and then also I need a window on my card front. So I'm just going to open my card, line it up where I want it, trace around that circle, and then I'll take the circle die that I had used to create my window and die cut out both a circle window in my card front and then also in my decorative panel here. We'll just make sure they're lined up really good and run both of those through my die cut machine. Okay, I'm going to use my bone folder and reinforce this score line here. So that's our card base. We'll set that aside, and we're gonna take our Sweet Berry panel, and you could pop this up with foam adhesive, but the pink wouldn't be as bold. So that's why I'm going to actually mat these together. I'm going to be using, you could use your tape runner, but I think if you use the strong adhesive tape, it'd be better, because we're going to sandwich our spinner in here, and you want some really strong tape to hold that string. I'm just using the top and bottom of my little label here as a guide, lining it up on my grid mat, and then I can add the strings to it really easy, making sure she's centered inside that window. We'll line it up and tack that down to our double-sided tape. And then I'm going to go ahead, and once she's centered, I'm going to use my scissors and trim off the excess ribbon. Actually, it's not ribbon, it's twine. And this is actually on sale right now. Spellbinders had an awesome sale. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check it out, but they had some great deals. But I added my twine, but I'm going to reinforce it a little bit more with some more double-sided tape. This is white liner tape, and I'm just making sure that that string doesn't move once she's spinning here. Okay, we're going to add our top panel right over the top, and then I'm going to secure it really well, making sure it's centered. And then that string is right in between both pieces of cardstock, and it's pretty secure, and I don't think she's going to go anywhere. Okay, next, before we adhere this to our card front, I am going to add some ribbon. The ribbon that I'm using coordinates with the cardstock and also coordinates with the ink that I used. It's the Sweet Berry Crimp ribbon. I'm not sure if the Spellbinders has this anymore, but if they do, I'll link it down below. I added that, tied a bow all the way to the left, and then popped up my panel with foam adhesive. We're lining up the windows, and then we're going to add our panel directly to our card front. I just think that looks so pretty. Now to pretty it up even more, we're going to flip over our sentiments, add foam adhesive behind them, and then I'm going to bring in a package of some roses. These are from Fun Stampers Journey, and they're called Love Buds. And again, I don't know, with the sale going on, I don't even know if these are in stock, guys, but any kind of roses you have or any kind of flowers you have would be perfect. Just as long as it coordinates with your cardstock, I think that'd be pretty. I'm going to add 3 of them. There's red and pink, and my ribbon doesn't quite match my cardstock, even though they're the same color. So I thought if we brought in 2 different color of roses, it would kind of be a real pretty pink card. I'm adding a few of my gems, and then I did add my sentiment there in my happy birthday. But I'm going to actually do a little adjusting with the birthday because I'm covering up my B, and then I'm going to actually move over my H, my happy birthday, my happy sentiment. We're going to scoot it over so it's not tucked underneath those flowers. But I think she turned out so cute. All you do is open it up, and then you can twist her and turn her. And then when you mail it, you would want to set your card base closed, and then when the recipient opens, she spins. I slowed this part down in really slow motion, guys, but she was going too fast still. But this is 25% slow down, but she spins so pretty, and I thought that would be the perfect stamp set to do this little spinner card. But you just turn her, and then there she goes. I don't know if you guys have probably known what kind of jewelry box I was talking about for you older folks. But I had fun creating my little princess card. If you're interested in the Stamp of the Month Club Kit, links are down below. Have a fabulous day. Thank you so much for joining me. We will see you again soon, guys. Bye-bye.